You've spelunked into the Matt Cave. Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Matt Cave. Thank you all so much for spelunking on by. I hope you have had or are having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and it'll definitely be better than Real Salt Lake, without a doubt, but, we'll get into that here in a moment. Thank you for being here. As always, like, comment, subscribe, 5 stars, thumbs up, wherever it is, however you listen, helps me out a ton. You know the drill by now. I don't really need to repeat myself, because it doesn't really bear repeating 100 and some odd times now. I think we're almost to 200 episodes. Can you guys believe that? That's a lot of episodes. Anyway, thank you for being here, and let's dive straight into things. So first off, Real Salt Lake. Oy vey. I don't even know where to begin anymore. They can't score normally, and then when they do score, they get out to a 2-0 lead, they blow it in spectacular fashion. Like this one against Vancouver, I get it. Vancouver is the best team in the league right now. They are. They're in the best form. Brian White is one of the most prolific goal scorers this season. He is the Chicho Arango of 2025, coming out of nowhere and scoring a bunch of goals. I get it. But you got out to a 2-0 lead. You scored a goal in the first minute. And it wasn't even scored by Diego Luna. It was assisted by him. So don't get that twisted. But you got out to a 1-0 lead 1 minute into the game. And then not only that, you continued pressing quite well. And you got a 2-0 lead in the 23rd minute. 2-0 up. That hasn't happened all year. It hasn't. And what do? You squander it. You squander it in spectacular fashion. This team, and the problem I have is with who Pablo Mastroeni is picking for captain. It's Emeka Eneli. And I don't know why him over guys like Justin Glad, well, I guess that would be the only one, really. Because everyone else, not really. I mean, Diego Luna's too much of a hothead. And you don't really want that responsibility on him. Because as we saw at the World Cup this past time with the Team USA, once the captain's armband was taken away from Christian Pulisic, he played better. So you don't really want that responsibility on Diego Luna, because it just keeps him free. He doesn't have to manage the other 10 players. He doesn't have to talk to the referee all the time. He can just focus on his own play. So I don't think Diego Luna should be the captain. But anyway, back to Emeka Eneli. Two of the goals were his fault. 2 of them, and he's the captain. The last goal was 100% his fault. He shaded too closely to the guy with the ball on the left side of the box, which then opened up a massive window, basically a barn door, for the Vancouver Whitecaps player to shoot through. And he didn't hustle back. And I get it. It's like the 95th minute. You're tired, but you're the captain. Okay? You have to sacrifice everything when you have that armband. And it was just lazy play. A lot of what I saw from Real Salt Lake against Vancouver, after they got that 2-0 lead, they expected Vancouver to just give up. They were so lazy on everything. They were late to balls. They were late to crosses. The first header they allowed in off of a corner kick, our guys didn't even jump for the ball. They just watched him go up. Brian White just jumped up, got a free header, scored a goal. Thank you very much. I'll take that and move on. My goodness. So, where do we go from here as Real Salt Lake? I don't know. Because the transfer window doesn't open until July, I believe, for MLS. And so, we already know Diego Luna is basically gone. I would love to keep him. He loves it here at Real Salt Lake in Salt Lake City. But you're going to get an offer you can't refuse. This kid is too good. He's too good. He's going to go. That's 8 goals. Your team has scored 16 on the season. He's 8 of them. No other player on Real Salt Lake has more than 1 goal scored this season. Wow. That is unheard of. Even LA Galaxy, who haven't won a single game this year, have guys that have scored multiple goals. Real Salt Lake is sitting at 14 points. 4 wins, 2 draws, 9 losses. If it weren't for the LA Galaxy, they would have the most losses of any team. Their goal differential is -7. That's not quite as bad. Third worst. Tied for third worst. Behind LA Galaxy and St. Louis City Soccer Club. This team's bad. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's bad. Outside of Diego Luna, the team is bad. And the thing that I'm worried about most is the Larry H. Miller Group that came in, bought the team, bought those few players, Johnny Russell, a couple of cast-offs from Sporting Kansas City, said, hey, look, we tried. See what happens when we try to spend money? And then they just don't invest anymore. That's my fear. And I'm afraid it's going to come to fruition because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You spend bad money, you're going to get bad results. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. Look at Manchester United. They are among the highest spenders in soccer in the world, and they finished with their worst ever record at 15th in the Premier League, 15th of 20 teams, where the bottom 3 get relegated. So it doesn't matter how much you spend. You have to spend it wisely. Again, look at the Colorado Rockies. Their payroll is 22nd in Major League Baseball, so they're not at the bottom like the Athletics or the White Sox or the Rays. They spend money, but they haven't won 10 games yet this season, and they've played over 50 games. They're off to the worst start since the 1800s. Again, it's not that you spend money, it's how you spend your money. And I'm afraid that the Larry H. Miller Group is going to be making this excuse. And that makes me very angry. It makes me so angry. Anyway, Real Salt Lake sucks. I'll continue watching it for you so you don't have to watch them. If you can go to a game, though, definitely go. It's a good time. It's a good crowd. It's a very good crowd, very friendly crowd. Even if you're wearing the wrong colors, it's still a very friendly crowd. But don't get Apple TV or whatever it is. MLS Season Pass, I think is what it's called on Apple TV. Don't waste your ducats on that. Don't do it. Save that money and spend it elsewhere. Like on Utah Mammoth gear or something. Hey, let's call that a segue, shall we? So the Utah Mammoth had 4 guys in the gold medal game. It was the United States against Switzerland. Nobody had that one, really. Neither team has won a gold medal since 1933. That was the Americans. Switzerland has never won a gold medal. They've won 3 silver medals heading into this game. The game ended 1-0 in overtime with the U.S. winning, and my blood pressure shooting through the roof. I don't like it when my team has guys on an international team because that makes my blood pressure spike. So like this summer at the Gold Cup for Team USA, Diego Luna is going to be on that roster. My blood pressure is going to spike watching those games. And we don't even have our 2 best players in Anthony Robinson and Christian Pulisic playing. They both deserve a rest, by the way. Christian Pulisic and Anthony Robinson have been playing all year for like the last 7 years. So they need the rest. And I defend them for not wanting to do the Gold Cup. I get it. Rest up. Go into next season. Do your thing. Anyway, Clayton Keller, captain of Team USA. So he is Captain America at this tournament. Josh Doan, Logan Cooley, Michael Kesselring, all of them there. And Logan Cooley gets the assist on the game-winning goal scored by Tage Thompson. This is an important game, especially for Clayton Keller and Tage Thompson. 2 guys that probably should have been on the 4 Nations team were left off. They go to the IIHF World Tournament, and they win a gold medal in front of the people that didn't pick them to go to the 4 Nations. I think that's a pretty good resume builder, don't you? They won gold. It's the first time America has won gold since 1933. That's 92 years. Wow. That's really impressive. Now, I do want to put like a pseudo asterisk on that sort of statistic because American players that make it to the NHL have never really gone to this tournament, and they've also been encouraged to not go by one Gary Bettman. The Canadians send people. Sweden sends people. Like, Sweden this time had Zibanejad, a guy that I want Utah to go get, but I don't think they will. Like, Sweden's had a lot of guys. I already told you guys about Canada having Sidney Crosby, Jordan Binnington, Nathan McKinnon, Marc-Andre Fleury. Like, they had guys. Barrett Hayton. I only bring that up because he plays for the Mammoth. I don't put him on that level, but... So you see what I mean? Team Canada got bounced by Denmark before a medal round. It was in the playoffs. That's kind of funny. All the comments I saw from the YouTube video as well as like on Reddit and stuff, a lot of the Team Canada fans went, yeah, our team needed that kick in the butt. We needed that from somebody other than a Sweden or a Team USA. So they got that kick in the butt. We'll see what happens. So Team USA goes up against Team Switzerland. Team Switzerland is the only team at the tournament to have beaten the Americans. So that's just another layer of spice on an already awesome final. The game was physical from basically from when they dropped the puck until the very end. And the way overtime works internationally is it's 3-on-3 in overtime until somebody scores a goal. That goal is a golden goal, meaning game over, whoever scores wins. No shootouts. Honestly, I like that. I think the NHL should adopt that because the players do not like the shootout. They don't. Fans do. I love the shootout. I think it's really fun. But the players don't. This game was exciting. It was very fun. And like I said, my blood pressure was shooting through the roof. I couldn't sit still. It was so much fun. It really was. Clayton Keller, Captain America, gets to hoist the trophy. He got his gold medal. Same thing with Logan Cooley, Josh Doan, and Michael Kesselring. This is only good for the Utah Mammoth. Like, this can only be good. They've tasted success on an international level. Yes, it was not against the A team. Even against Team Switzerland, it wasn't the A team. They were missing a lot of guys due to injury. Team USA, it wasn't the A team. It wasn't even really the B team, if I'm being honest. It was kind of the C team. And same thing with Team Canada, right? They didn't have Cale Makar. They didn't have Connor McDavid. But Team USA didn't have the Tkachuk brothers or Austin Matthews or Jack Eichel. So, 6 of one, half a dozen another, right? I love this for the future of the Utah Mammoth because all 4 of those guys are going to be on the team for a long time to come. Michael Kesselring came a long way this season, as did Clayton Keller, career high in points, goals scored, and assists. Logan Cooley came on really strong the second half of the season. He's only 21 years old. He just turned 21. And Josh Doan, same thing. So I'm very excited about where this is going to lead the Utah Mammoth. I'm very excited that Team USA won a gold medal for the first time in almost 100 years of the tournament. And it's great momentum going into this offseason where it's going to be a very important one. Utah Mammoth got up to the 4th pick in the draft. By the way, do you guys know some of the people that were picked 4th overall? I'm just going to name one. You can go look it up for the rest, but Cale Makar was picked 4th overall a few years ago. So this pick is still a very good pick. It's not like the NBA draft where the Jazz got... Anyway. And then there's that cap space the Utah Mammoth have. There's a bunch of tradable assets they have with draft picks that they have absorbed. Mitch Marner. I really want the Utah Mammoth to get Mitch Marner. And here's the thing. I've seen a lot of Utah Mammoth fans say, no, we don't want Mitch Marner. He chokes in the playoffs. Hey, guess what, guys? He makes the playoffs. Year after year, Mitch Marner has made the playoffs. You know who hasn't? The Coyotes /Hockey Club /Mammoth. So before we worry about him choking in the playoffs, let's get there first. You know who will help us get there? Mitch Marner. So yes, I want Mitch Marner. I'd love it if they could swing a trade for one of the Tkachuk brothers. It's not going to happen. That is complete pipe dream on my part. But like Brady Tkachuk from Ottawa, you could probably pry him loose if you give him half of your roster. But still, this offseason is going to be so much fun. It really is for the Utah Mammoth. I'm very excited about the future. Clayton Keller and Michael Kesselring, Josh Doan, and Logan Cooley, all cornerstones of the future of the club, have tasted success at almost the highest level, and they can bring that back and just improve. The one thing I wish Clayton Keller would do better is shoot the darn puck. Like, he is so good at finding the pass and finding, like, these small windows to get a puck through for a pass to a teammate that might have a better shot on goal, that he passes up obvious shooting opportunities to do that pass, which is why he's a captain. Guys love playing with him. He does the dirty work. But, Clayton, you got to shoot the puck more, man. You just have to. Anyway, congratulations to Team USA. Congratulations to Team Switzerland. I know it's not great for them because this is their... There was a stat that one of the players, I think his name is Niedermeyer, he has won 4 silver medals. He's never won a gold medal. So that kind of stinks for him. But, I mean, you've got 4 silver medals, right? So, there we have it. I mean, that's really it for sports. I refuse to talk about, like, who the Jazz are going to draft at number 5. Are they going to trade up? What are their plans? Because honestly, right now, there are no plans. Daryl Morey of Philadelphia can say all he wants that he's open to trading it. He's not going to trade that 3rd overall pick. You can still get a cornerstone player at number 3. You know where you can't get one is at number 5. I've also seen a lot of rumors that the Jazz are going to take Yegor Demin. Please. I watched Yegor Demin all season. Did he get better as the season went along? Absolutely. Is he a top 15 pick? Absolutely not. So no. That is just fodder for people to click on an article, especially from Utah. Like, oh, the Jazz might draft a BYU guy. No, they're not. Yegor Demin, maybe if Yegor Demin is still around with their second first-round pick in the 20s, but they're not going to pick him at number 5. If they pick him at number 5, then they really are tanking for AJ Debnza next year. Because Yegor Demin is not NBA ready in any way, shape, or form. He's just a tall guard. And honestly, do the Jazz need that? Yes! 100% they need a tall guard. They've needed a tall guard since Donovan Mitchell. Does that mean they're going to reach for one at number 5? I don't think so. I really don't think so. All right, so that really does do it for the sports talk this week. I am going to segue now into video game talk and really what it's going to be about. So the first one I want to talk about is Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. This recently came out, and it's fantastic. It's a very relaxing game. And in the Fantasy Life games, they are usually Nintendo fodder. And this one is going to be out for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 when that launches, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, consoles, and PC. I have it for PC, and I have it on Steam Deck. If you have a Steam Deck, this game, perfect for it. Perfect. As good as Balatro is for the Steam Deck. And what you do in Fantasy Life is you literally can just pick a random class and play as that, and you can progress through the story, and you don't feel out of place. So, as an example, I started this game as a lumberjack. Just going out chopping trees. Just chopping trees, bringing them down, and the game tailors itself to advance through if you just want to play as a lumberjack. You can do it as a tailor. You could do it as a paladin. You could do it as a mercenary. Blacksmith, miner, whatever flavor you're feeling when you play the game, you can advance the story as that class. And so I love the game for that. It's also a very sweet story. It's just relaxing. It's fun. It's a feel-good game when we all need something feel-good in our lives. My advice to anyone who is looking for this kind of game to just, you've had a long day at work. You just need to turn off your brain and enjoy, just relax. Get this game. It is $60, so it is $59.99 no matter where you're buying it. So it is a little bit of an investment, but it's worth it. So on the Matt review scale, this is a buy it. It really is. You don't need to wait for it to go on sale. You don't even need to know the series or have played the series beforehand. It does a wonderful job of introducing you to it and what you need to do, how to play the game. Just get it. This is a get it. 100%. It's the perfect relaxation game. It's not a hyper-competitive multiplayer game, and it's not an intense RPG experience like Clair Obscur is. It's just something you can almost just turn your brain off and go and just chop trees or, mine ore deposits. It's so much fun. And it's drawn in the chibi style of art, so it has that going for it too, and it's not overly taxing on whatever system you're playing on. So, for example, on the Steam Deck, if you play a game that is graphically intense, demanding, it can get pretty loud. It can sound like a jet engine at times, and it can get pretty hot. I've played Fantasy Life 2-3 hours at a time, and nothing. The Steam Deck is quiet. Silent. It needed to stay on the charger, but it was silent. So what I'm saying here is get this game. It's fun. Now, as for other games that are coming out this year, there's not much. And the reason behind that is because everybody thought that Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be coming out this year. So games like Battlefield, that one got pushed back. Now they might not push it back because Grand Theft Auto 6 is slated to come out in 2026, which is just a brilliant marketing move, by the way. Like, come on. GTA 6 in 26. Easy marketing. Borderlands 4 was thinking about pushing their game back as well, but they are not now. It's coming out in September. So there's a method to the madness when it comes to AAA games pushing their games back this year because of what they thought they were up against. Because when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, there is going to be a slew. Like, the entire workforce in different countries is going to shut down for a couple of days. Like, when World of Warcraft, back when that was the thing, like when Burning Crusade came out or Wrath of the Lich King came out, a huge spike in people calling in. That's going to happen for GTA 6 next year. But this year, there's not that big, scary, ooga booga game for these other studios to go up against. So don't be surprised if we see more and more games get announced for later this year, just so they don't have to go up against that game. Because whether GTA 6 is any good or not, when it comes out, people are going to get it. Will I get it? Probably, just so I can review it for you all. That's really why. I've never really been a big GTA fan. I've played all of them, and I mean, it's fun. The open world's great. Driving around's fun. But, whatever. But I'll play it. I'll get it for you all, so you don't have to. Especially if it's not any good. But the two games that I'm looking forward to coming out this year, I'll do three. The first is Dune Awakening. So Dune Awakening is an MMORPG. The game is going to be launching on computer, PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles. And it's an interesting-looking MMORPG. The beta or early access stress test, whatever you want to call it, that they ran was just a very teeny-tiny area of the map. So a lot of people were worried about that, thinking, the game's not going to be that big. Well, no, of course not, doofus. It's a tiny area that they're stress testing to see how the servers can handle it. It's going to be a big, massive world because it's an MMO. And it's set in the Dune universe. And I know nothing about the Dune universe other than Zendaya was in the movie and there's giant worms. Like, I get it confused with Tremors. Like, that's where I'm at when it comes to Dune. So, even for me, who knows nothing about the universe, I'm still pretty excited about this game. The game itself, like The Division 2 meets, I don't know, like Star Wars and The Old Republic almost. Like, really, that's what the vibes that it gave me. I wasn't able to get in on it because I didn't pre-order the game, because I don't pre-order games anymore. And so that's how you were able to get into it. So I watched a couple of different streamers play it, like Pirate Software, Thor. I love that guy. If you need a wholesome streamer to go watch who is a very smart guy who encourages everybody to be their best selves, watch Pirate Software, whether it's on YouTube or twitch.tv. This guy is a fantastic human being. But anyway, and that's not sponsored, by the way. I don't know him personally. I just enjoy watching his content because he encourages everybody to be the best version of themselves. But, so I was watching him play it, and the user interface is going to take a little bit for me to get used to. It's not your usual MMO fare where it's point and click, this happens. So that's why it's a lot like The Division 2, because that was real-time action, it's cover-to-cover shooting. So there's a lot of that, but if you played Mercenary in Star Wars The Old Republic, I think that is the connection I can make for you into what Dune will play like. Because that's what it felt like when I was watching Thor play this. So, Dune Awakening, this one comes out in June. It's June 10th, so a couple of weeks from today, basically, that I'm recording this. So I'll probably be playing this one, because I have been looking for another MMO to get into, because Final Fantasy XIV, I haven't logged into that in months. Like a couple of months before I started my new job, and I started my new job in January, so that's how long it's been since I played Final Fantasy. And then I pop in and out of World of Warcraft. I still love World of Warcraft. I don't think I will ever turn my sub off, because as you all know, the game saved my life. So, but I'm not into it like I used to. And so, Dune Awakening, we'll see if it can scratch that itch. The other game that I'm looking forward to is Borderlands 4. And I'm still looking forward to it even after what Randy Pitchford, the guy who's in charge of the Borderlands, basically IP, has said. Now, people have been asking him, how much is the game going to cost? Is it going to be $80? Is it going to be $90? Is it going to be $100? And he said he doesn't know. But he also said, which is fair, if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. Because who knows what the economy is going to be looking like in September. Here's what I didn't like. He said, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it work. And what he means by making it work is buying this game no matter what the cost is. I disagree, Randy. In this market of gaming, people are turning away from the AAA experience in the AAA studio. People don't want to pay $80 for a game. They don't want to pay $90 for a game. I mean, they don't really want to pay $70 for a game. So instead of paying $80 for a AAA game, and AAA has become basically almost a curse to whatever game is coming out, because there hasn't been a AAA game that has truly crushed it to come out this year. Monster Hunter Wilds is the closest, and that was very good, but everything else has not been good. Assassin's Creed Shadows was okay, but Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game that Ubisoft should have made years ago. Like, it would have fit with the Assassin's Creed 3, 4, Brotherhood, in that era. They didn't really bring it anywhere with Shadows. So, with Randy Pitchford saying this, it would not surprise me to see the sales for this game lag and not be very good. But Randy Pitchford's always been a clown. He's always been the sideshow that you just go, yeah, okay, bud, and then you enjoy the game. Because from what I understand, working on the Borderlands projects is a lot of fun for developers, because there are no rules. Like, the only rules are there are no rules, that sort of thing. And so this game, I'm looking forward to very much, especially like with the gameplay trailers that they showed, where you have one character who's basically like Reinhardt from Overwatch. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. So yes, I will be getting Borderlands 4, full stop. I will pay whatever it is that Randy Pitchford and company decide it's going to cost. I'm not going to like paying that much money for it, but I do know I enjoy the Borderlands games. Now, real quick here, the last game that I'm looking forward to is the new college football game. I want to see if they can keep up the positive momentum from that first entry. Are they able to iterate on something that was successful? Are they able to make the tweaks and improvements that the community wants and not just what the boardroom says they need to do? It's the Heisman, road to the Heisman, whatever you want to call it, is going to be more in depth. This time around, there's going to be like an actual story mode. The last time that EA tried that in one of their sports sims was in Madden, and it wasn't very good. It just was not very good. And now they're going to be trying it with college football. Oh boy. Really where I want them to improve is just the menu, how long it takes for the menus to load. I want them to tighten that up. And then I also want them to tighten up recruiting a little bit, because once you get a rhythm in recruiting, it doesn't really change. So I want them to be able to have some variety in there. And then outside of that, I'm okay with the rest of the game. The Heisman stuff, yeah, sure, create a player, go play, try to win the Heisman, wonderful, go for it. Go nuts. Dynasty mode is where I live, and I want them to continue to improve on it. All right, so that's the show this week, everybody. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you all next week when we spelunk back into the Matt Cave.